Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another game. This is Joe's Video Games, Lions Arcade. You can see all of our arcade games that we have available right now at lionsarcade.com. This is a really cool one. We like to take videos of some of the interesting arcade games that we get in, just to kind of document them and show them to people on YouTube if they haven't seen them in a while. This is Nintendo's R.B.I. Baseball, which is it was actually made by Atari for Nintendo's upright versus system. So, really cool game. We talked about a Mario Brothers and a Super Mario Brothers and another one. This was actually a kit that Nintendo released. They had dedicated ones too, but this was a kit. This cabinet originally was a Donkey Kong Jr., and they turned it into this Nintendo Versus Unisystem. You can see the side art here. There's actually a couple types of this side art. There's another type with a slightly different design, but I think this was a little later model. But basically, you could take your old Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet if you were an operator and making money with the game, and you could buy this kit and turn it into a Versus system. They called it Versus, I guess, because a lot of the games were supposed to be two-player. So, and this is actually one that Atari made for it. If you know, Nintendo and Atari have had a rocky past. I guess by this time everything was pretty straightened out, though. You can see the marquee has a crack in it. Little flaw. All these things, whenever they get hot, sometimes they crack. But this had a board in it that you could actually change the chips out in and make it different games. So the control panel was just generic. It doesn't say anything about what game it is. And they all used basically the same controls. So if you bought a new game, like say you bought that Super Mario Brothers we were talking about, you could take this sign off and put the new Super Mario Brothers sign on it, change a few chips, and then the game would be Super Mario Brothers. This is R.B.I. Baseball. This was considered one of the really cool Versus games too. You know, if you played it on the original Nintendo, you probably know all about it. But it's just a cool game and a cool cabinet. I thought we'd videotape a little bit of it, just if you hadn't seen one in forever. Is he gonna make it? Oh yeah, he made it. Home run. All that weird stuff you're seeing the monitor do, it doesn't really do in real life. It's just an artifact of the camera. This is a fairly tough game. This isn't a game that you can just walk up to and play without reading the instructions and really knowing what's going on. You don't just step up and hit a button or you'll be lost. You get to you've got to know how to pitch and know how to bat and know how to run the bases and know how to check for people trying to steal base. And it was a pretty, I mean, it sounds crazy, but it was a pretty complex baseball game for its time. It was and it's really well loved. People really remember it and think fondly of it. So I just figured we'd videotape it a little bit. Like usual, we buy these games broken usually, and they need a little work, like that sign how I was showing you had a little crack in it. Well, whenever we get them in, usually there's little things going on all over the place like that. So we go through them and get them as nice as possible. And we don't usually completely restore them back to brand new condition, but we get them nice and presentable like this one is, so that it'll look good in your game room. And we like to videotape some of the cooler ones. So here you go. If you want to check out the other games that we have, you can go to lionsarcade.com. By the time you see this video, this game may already be sold. So we're not trying to sell you this one or anything, but we just figured we'd show you a neat game. And stop by and see us sometime. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is about 15 miles south of Charlotte, North Carolina. And we've got a whole room full of games like this. So you can see some of the stuff we've got in that dark room there in the back. During the day, that's not dark, and there's a lot of games back there. So stop by sometime and you can check them out. Or if you're looking for anything for your game room, get in touch with us. Maybe we've got it, or maybe we've got it in storage and can bring it in and work on it for you. All right, talk to you soon. See you at the next video.